everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is part 1 in a 2-part series where I will be sharing some gifts for travel lovers with you. Specifically, some cliche gifts that almost every traveler expects to get at some point or another, and giving it a little twist, making them unique and specific to that traveler. These 6 categories will help any traveler relive their favorite trips and help satisfy their wanderlust just a little bit, since we've all been cooped up for just a little bit too long this year. Today's video is going to be supporting small businesses online, and then in a couple weeks, part 2 will be all about DIYing, that's not right. We are going to DIY something for each of these categories. Also, I'm going to be sharing a little bonus for you at the very end of today's video for something that you can do for your traveler. So stay tuned for that. One of the main things that is suggested a lot of times to get for a traveler is something map themed. But I would like to encourage you to get a map specific to them. Maybe it's where they fell in love with traveling. Maybe it's somewhere they go over and over again. For me, that place would be London. I fell in love with traveling, with being in another country while I was in London for the first time. So a map like this would be great. It is customizable to any location in the world, and it is a digital download, so you don't have to pay for shipping. You don't get an actual product. You can print it yourself to whatever size you want, and you can put it in whatever frame you want too. This seller on Etsy is actually having a BOGO sale right now, and Michaels is having a sale on frames. I believe they're buy one get one half off, so you can really save a lot. There are so many other customizable maps to choose from too. There's one like this, that's an engraved wood map. You can also get them in a shape of mountains if somebody really likes mountains in your life. There's also this one that is a set of coasters. Isn't that so cool to have a set of coasters that's customized to a place that you go all the time? All of the links for these are down in the description box below, by the way. Another common thing to get a travel lover is something with some sort of traveling related quote on it. But I would like to tell you to get something with a quote that they actually like. I, for one, love the quote, "Not all those who wander are lost." But I know quite a few people that would rather listen to screamo music at top level than hear that quote one more time. So, some other pretty common ones are ones like wanderlust, keep calm and travel on, let the adventure begin, things like that. I'm also going to put a list of more uncommon ones down in the pinned comment, and please reply if there's any that I missed, if I skipped over your favorite one, if you know of any others that travelers like. I would love to know what they are, because I, for one, love travel quotes. But you can get all sorts of things with these on them. You can get wall art. There's this really cool metal engraved one. You can get them printed and in like canvas form. You can get them in all sorts of things. You can get them on a travel mug, get them something practical that they can actually take with them. Some other practical things you could get are like a luggage tag for somebody who is always misplacing things. There's also like passport covers and all sorts of things. So go ahead and check those out. One thing that a lot of people get themselves when they travel is like a guidebook. But you could go one step further and get them a travel book. Some of the most popular ones that I can think of are like Eat, Pray, Love by Elizabeth Gilbert or Wild by Cheryl Strayed. But there are others out there. If your travel lover specifically likes Australia, you could get them In a Sunburned Country by Bill Bryson. Or if they really like some romance in whatever they're reading, Love with a Chance of Drowning, I've heard, is very good by Tori DeRoche, and I hope I'm saying her name right. One of my favorite gifts that I've ever gotten is a travel book called 10 Years a Nomad by Nomadic Matt. He runs a blog too that I've been a follower of for years. It's not a book in the traditional sense, but it's more a book of lessons that he's learned while traveling for 10 years, obviously. All of the links in the description box below are actually from a website called Bookshop, and it is a website that helps supports small bookstores. You can order from specific small bookstores or even just order a book, and it is ordered from a small bookstore and shipped to you. This is not a sponsored video, by the way. I just really like Etsy and Bookshop and some of these other websites I'm going to tell you today. If you have been on a trip with your traveler, go ahead and get them something that reminds them of that trip. Print out some pictures and get a photo display like this one, or go the cheap route and get a string of LED lights and some mini clothespins from Dollar Tree and hang them up like this. You can also get a lot of personalized photo gifts from websites like Shutterfly and Snapfish and Paribo. A lot of common ones are calendars or planners. A lot of uncommon ones are throw pillows and blankets. One of the favorites that I found is a puzzle, because who hasn't fallen in love with doing puzzles during this year? Part 2 that's coming in a few weeks is going to be DIY versions for some of these categories that I'm sharing with you today, specifically using your travel photos to make art for gifts. The next idea to consider is somewhere to display their favorite souvenirs. Is there a souvenir that they collect? A lot of common ones are magnets and postcards and shot glasses and keychains, things like that. For magnets, you could get something like this magnetic bulletin board that's really pretty, has a fabric overlay. It will help them kind of put them on display and not just have them on the fridge where they could really fall off and break anytime someone opens the door. The others, I collect keychains, and I didn't really find anything on Etsy or anything like that that I would like to use to display my keychains, so that just means that I have to build something myself, so that may become a video, so stay tuned for that as well. Another one is shot glasses. People make displays for shot glasses all the time. The next category has things that I have mentioned in other categories, but I think this one deserves a category of its own, and that is practical things. Things like the luggage tag that I've mentioned, or the travel mug, or the calendar, or something like that. But some other ideas are a passport holder, or a travel journal, a phone case, things like that they can actually use when they go on these trips or even around the house. These websites, Shutterfly and Snapfish, they all have these sorts of things that you can print your own travel photos on and be able to admire them in your own kitchen. I'll be opening my own Etsy shop pretty soon in the next few weeks with some products that can fit into these categories. So go ahead and follow me over on Instagram so you can find out when that goes live. Another category that's a little bit controversial and a little bit cliche that I'm going to help you make a little bit unique is gift cards. But stay away from gift cards from big retailers like Walmart and Amazon and Target and things like that. Focus on more specified gift cards, things like REI or Dick's Sporting Goods or Airbnb, Hotel.com, Cheapo Air. They all have gift cards. A lot of airlines also have gift cards. So if they're a frequent flyer of a certain airline, think about giving them a gift card. All of this comes down to really knowing who they are and what they like. Think about why they love to travel. Think about where they've traveled to. And if you don't know, ask them. That's my bonus for this video, is to ask any traveler what they love about traveling. I know I, for one, if asked about anything about traveling, I could talk your ear off. I've been to so many places and I love to share them and encourage you to go to them as well. So I have put some questions in the description box to kind of help you out if you do want to talk to a traveler about their love of travel. All right, so thanks for watching. I really appreciate it if you've made it this far, and I will see you next week. Thanks, bye guys. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is part 1 in a 2-part series. Quiet on set! Come on, Finn! Will be DIY versions of some of these categories that I'm going to share with you today. That was a really good take. If you've been on a trip with your traveler, go ahead and try to get them something. The next idea to consider is somewhere to